Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to get into a really interesting idea. And our source for this exploration is some excerpts from Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris. It's a daily devotional, and, well, many find it offers some pretty insightful perspectives.
Yeah.
We're getting into a devotional that really cranks up the pressure.
Yeah, it's all about this idea of theological urgency. I mean, it doesn't hold back.
Not at all. The core message seems to be that time is this critical, limited resource that defines, well, everything.
And it wastes no time getting there.
Yeah.
The whole argument is grounded in a single verse,
Yeah.
right? John 9.4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where Jesus speaks about having to work while it is day because the night cometh when no man can work.
That one line, that's the entire foundation for what the source calls the short window concept.
So what exactly does it mean by day and night here? It's clearly a metaphor.
It is. The source defines day as our current window of opportunity. The time we have right now to freely preach the gospel.
And the night is when that opportunity is gone. The source is very explicit, saying the doors we see open today may one day be closed.
And just when you think it's about this big, abstract, global issue, it pivots.
Right. It brings it right down to the personal level, doesn't it?
It really does. It argues that any delay in evangelism could lead to, and this is a direct quote, eternal loss for a specific person.
Someone you actually know, a friend, a neighbor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the language it uses to describe the stakes for that person is just incredibly stark.
It doesn't sugarcoat it at all. It points to Ephesians and describes their state as gloomy and hopeless.
In despair, and then the really heavy one, doomed to destruction.
And to be clear, by doomed to destruction, the source means eternal separation.
Yes. And in that narrative, the believer is framed as the only point of contact, the light and the hope for that person.
So with that level of consequence on the table, I mean, there's just no room left for complacency.
And none. The devotional says this is not a season for complacent Christianity, but one for bold action.
And the goal of that action is to get the gospel preached in all nations.
What's interesting is how it frames the motivation for that. It starts with a familiar idea, being compelled by Christ's love.
But then it gets much more intense.
Brings in the Apostle Paul from 1 Corinthians.
Right, where Paul says, a necessity is laid upon us to preach the gospel.
And then comes the warning.
Woe unto us if we don't preach. That's not just inspiration. That feels like a mandate.
It's an obligation backed by a spiritual threat. And the source seems to justify it by saying the mission is so critical that it has to override our personal fear or our comfort.
So that woe is the weight needed to push you into action.
Precisely. And to cap it all off, the source then claims the nations are ready and ripe with harvest.
Which sort of suggests the problem isn't a lack of receptivity out there.
No, it implies the delay is entirely internal. The holdup is the messenger.
Wow. So let's bring this home for you, the listener. The core message is that every moment counts. Every soul counts.
Right. That means your life needs to be aligned with what the source calls heaven's urgency.
Which brings us to the final provocative thought we want to leave you with.
If time really is the most precious resource we have, and that night is truly approaching when no work can be done,
then what is the one practical step that seizing the moment actually entails for you in your current environment right now? That's the challenge.
That's our deep dive for today. Join us next time.
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.